Hello and welcome back to another video here on my channel. My name is Sim and I'm a South African that is currently living in Edinburgh, Scotland. Here on my YouTube channel I make videos about life as an expat and what it's like living here in the UK, specifically Edinburgh. And in today's video, I'm going to show you what Edinburgh is like in autumn. In this video, I'll be covering what you can expect from the weather because that obviously influences what you pack for your visit to Edinburgh. And I'll also bring you along for a day out in the city to show you some ideas of things that you can do here this time of the year. I think one of the best ways to start your autumn day in Edinburgh is definitely to go out for some breakfast or brunch. So we are heading out to one of the very popular breakfast spots here in Edinburgh. We've been trying to get a table there for a very long time. There are a bunch of other cafes and restaurants in Edinburgh to try out for brunch or breakfast. So the options are really endless depending on whatever you are in the mood for. But before we head out, let's talk about the weather and the temperature because you need to know how to dress before you leave the house. We are still at the start of autumn. The beginning of autumn is end of September and we are now at the start of October. But you can definitely feel the change in temperature. The air is definitely a lot cooler and you are definitely way more tempted to turn on the heating inside the house. Because we are still at the start of autumn, the average temperatures you can expect is around a minimum of 6 and a high of 13 degrees. But then as we move closer to December and winter time, the maximum will probably drop to around 9 degrees. Even though there are sunny days in autumn, October is actually known for being the wettest month of the year, so you can expect a lot more rain. You also want to watch out for the wind. In my opinion, that makes it so much colder. For that reason, I would also definitely steer away from any flared skirts or dresses. It's just so tricky to keep it down with the wind blowing you away. For the top half of your outfit, I would probably go for a light long sleeve shirt and then either have a jumper over that or a cardigan. That way you can always just take off some layers if you're walking around a lot and you start to get a bit hot. Now that you know what to wear for your autumn day out in Edinburgh, I think we're ready to go get some breakfast. So here we are at Ludon's in Fountain Bridge, Edinburgh, and for breakfast I decided to get some hot chocolate. It was so nice and creamy and felt really cozy. For my meal I got some French toast with bacon, maple syrup and pecan nuts, and then I got a side of polenta chips. So tasty. So that was breakfast at Ludon's and it was so good. I was really impressed. The portion sizes were really good and everything was super tasty, but it is very popular, so if you want to have a brunch or breakfast day, you definitely need to book in advance. Next thing on the agenda for today, we are heading over to Stockbridge Farmers Market now. Edinburgh actually has a few farmers markets that are on a Saturday and a Sunday, so definitely check out which farmers markets are available in your area. So we are heading over there now and I want to get some ingredients to make some soup later and hopefully also pick up some freshly baked bread. Here we are at Stockbridge Market. There were some yummy food smells in the air. The paella looked amazing. It was quite busy, as you can see, so a really nice atmosphere and a wide variety of stalls, and it's a good opportunity to buy some local produce that's been freshly made, and it was quite affordable as well. Are back from the farmers market. It was such a nice outing today. The weather was really nice. It's been raining the whole week, so I'm so glad that we had a nice clear blue sky today so that we could walk around. I actually just filmed another YouTube video where I tried the autumn items from Starbucks. It was so fun. Definitely a few tasty things on their autumn menu, but I thought while I have this background set up, let me quickly show you everything that we got at the farmers market. I also wanted to mention that, as you saw at the market, they also had some food stalls. So if you don't want to go to a restaurant or a cafe for breakfast or even lunch, you can just go to the farmers market and see what food stalls they have there. As I mentioned, I am making soup later, specifically butternut soup. So I got 2 butternut squash to just cut this up later, but I also wanted to get some bread to obviously dip in the soup, which is like the best part. So we picked up 2 loaves. The first one is just like a wholemeal loaf, and he said like the crust isn't too thick, so I think that's nice for soup because you want the fluffy bread part to dip it in. And then we just thought this one also looked really nice. A bit more crispy. I think this will be nice if you heat it up in the oven. I'm not sure what type of bread this is, honestly. I have no idea. It just looked good, so we have 2 bread options. We were also looking for some olive oil, and so we walked up to the stall with these bottles because we thought that it was olive oil, but it turned out to be mead, and it was actually so interesting. I've never tried mead before, so they let us taste a few of the flavors, and what it is, like the original one, is just honey and water that's been fermented together, and then it's put into barrels to mature. And they have this cute story here of like the history behind it. They say brewed by monks through the Middle Ages, mead was the mainstay of Welsh courtly life. It is reckoned to be the oldest alcoholic drink in the world. Wow. All over Europe, it was thought to be an aphrodisiac and given to newlyweds to drink for a month, hence the origin of the word honeymoon, because like honey, it's made from honey. So we got the original one that just is made with honey, and then they also have like infused flavors, so we also picked up the cherry. Just to give you an idea of the taste, if you've never tried it before, it kind of reminds me of like a dessert wine, so something that you will have small amounts and just like sip it. Or I can also see it working if you like blend it with ice cream and make like an alcoholic milkshake. I think that would be pretty good. So that's everything that we picked up at the farmers market today. As I said, they also have some hot food stalls and they have some crafts. So it's definitely a fun outing for the morning or the afternoon. Next up, I'm just going to start prepping everything that's needed for the soup, like cut up everything, and then we'll start making that for dinner. My soup is finally ready and I am so impressed with how it came out. The recipe was so easy. I have to say, having a pressure cooker to make soup in is a game changer. And then of course I also have my bread that we bought at the farmer's market this afternoon. So I'll be dipping that into my soup and enjoying my dinner. I think that's where I'm going to end off today's video before my soup gets cold, but I hope you enjoyed spending this autumn day with me in Edinburgh. Honestly, it's a beautiful city to visit any time of the year. You just need to dress for the weather, but there's always something to get up to in the city no matter what the season is. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up down below, and if you want to see more of my videos about Edinburgh and life here in the UK, also remember to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and then I'll see you in a new video next week.